The Sea Scouts, part of the Boy Scouts of America, are for young men and women ages 14 to 21. We use boats as our platform to teach character, values, and leadership. Young men and women in Sea Scouts can earn the equivalent of the Boy Scout Eagle rank called Quartermaster. Sea Scout ships are similar to Boy Scout troops as each functions under the Scouting umbrella. Each Sea Scout ship operates with their own leadership and volunteers. In Tacoma, we're fortunate to have 3 ships and possibly the largest and longest-serving Sea Scout units in America. Included are the Odyssey, the Verite, and the Curtis, which was formed in 1924. The Curtis, USCG 78302, began her history in 1931. Hers was an exciting beginning as she was built for the Coast Guard to chase rum runners on the East Coast. Built at Newport News, Virginia. By 1936, Prohibition was over and the Curtis was placed on a freighter and shipped through the Panama Canal to her new home in Tacoma. When World War II broke out, she was assigned duties as a picket ship patrolling along the Washington and Oregon coast. In 1946, she was decommissioned and purchased by the Boy Scouts for only $10. She was then named after the Chief Scout Executive, Charles N. Curtis. By the late 1950s, the aft cabinet was added while leaving the original wheelhouse in place and moving the galley up to the main deck. In the mid-70s, the wheelhouse was replaced with the current wheelhouse. In the 80s, she was certified as a T-boat by the Coast Guard and continues as a commercially inspected vessel today. The Curtis is an integral part of the program. It is the platform on which we teach. It is the hook which challenges young people to excel, grow, set goals, and be our future citizens. We use both the classroom and hands-on training to teach skills. It is not intuitive for a 14-year-old to steer a boat, especially an 80-foot boat which only draws 52 inches of water and is readily pushed around by wind and current. Navigation starts with dead reckoning, the fundamentals of using a chart, symbols, compass rose, and course plotting. As the young Sea Scout advances, they learn how to use longitude and latitude. This information is added to the GPS as waypoints, routes established, and courses compared to the dead reckoning plot. This immediately validates the plotted course and allows for corrections before the trip begins. We currently have more than 61 routes in our system. A young person learns to stand bow and stern watches, reporting objects around the boat, noting, what do I see? What is their relative bearing? What is it doing? How far away is it? We have 2 radars on board, one for the bow watch and one for navigation. Crew members learn to use the radars and practice for that foggy day when visibility is near zero. The navigation team is in regular contact with the vessel traffic system. We operate in the vessel traffic lanes under constant surveillance by the Coast Guard. A navigator must be prepared to give our location, course, and ETA at any given moment in time. The Curtis has retained its original engine order telegraph system. A handle in the wheelhouse is moved to indicate speed and direction on a pointer in the engine room. An engineer mans his station with his left-hand finger monitoring the telegraph indicator, the right hand on the throttle and shift handle, while watching the instrument panel. Underway, time is just the beginning. Engine maintenance never ends, from oil changes and filters to engine component replacements. Learning how to use an extinguisher is not intuitive. Rescue at sea is always a challenge. Continuing practice helps make it successful. Sea Scouts first are taught how to operate and maintain outboards. On a skiff, they learn to run, land, and get underway. A number of small sailboats are available to learn the fundamentals of sailing. By mastering small boats first, a young person can then learn to operate a 26-foot motor lifeboat. Built heavy, double walls, lots of flotation, nearly unsinkable, and slow, she is the tank of small boats, ideal for teenagers. We have a fleet of kayaks that are the youth's own personal watercraft. Just look at the smile on their faces. Few youth get a chance to row. It is a learned experience and must be practiced to achieve some level of competence. There is no free ride on this boat. All crew members are required to participate in our annual dry dock. The Curtis dry docks during Tacoma Public Schools' spring break. Every year, the hull is scraped and loose paint is removed. The hub zincs are removed and replaced at each dry dock. The hull is sanded and repainted annually. We like to replace a few planks each year. This was a little more than normal. We use CVG fir planking on the Curtis. It takes about a year to find the right timber, and then another 2 to 3 years to air dry it. The Curtis is committed to supporting community service projects. The youth and adults average about 1,000 hours per year on a wide range of projects. This is the annual Christmas Special People's Cruise held in December. We present the colors at many events each year. They range from the daffodil ceremony to dinner meetings. A favorite event is the opening day parade in Seattle. We often win first place in the dress power division. During Daffodil Weekend at Tacoma Yacht Club, our crew stands all-night fire watches both on Friday and Saturday so that the guests are safe. On Sunday, we join the parade. Sea Scouts travel all around the Puget Sound and into the Straits of Georgia. Here is one of our visits to Princess Louisa. A break in our schedule, and the youth are overboard. Nothing like hanging around, over the water that is. Oops, who let go of the line? I just learned the French bowline and thought I would eat dinner hanging off the davit. Is this how it works? The end of a long cruise. We are having fun, but it will be nice to go home. We fly the Steamin' Demon flag, our logo. Mike McLeod designed the Steamin' Demon 50 years ago. We are an all-volunteer program. Our adults contribute over 10 full-time equivalent positions each year.